Good morning, everyone. The time is now 10 a.m. Welcome to the Brooklyn and Family Support Service Advisory Council meeting. Normally, we do meet the third Tuesday, but due to Passover and tax day and school vacation, today the meeting is on the fourth Tuesday just for this month at this time. Welcome again, everyone. Before we do any announcements, and we'll get Ms. Gripe to say welcome for a few seconds. Ms. Gripe, you want to say good morning?
Yes, I do. I first want to say good morning to everyone. I want to hope everyone had a good Passover, a good Easter. I also hope that everybody is doing well in this time, and I'm very glad you're all here, and I will let Christopher continue so then we can then get to all of the rest of the meeting. So I thank everybody who came. And please, let's keep up working together. Thank you. And one more thing. Thank you for all my birthday wishes. I did appreciate it very much. And I see Nina is entering. So
Good.
Christopher will be doing the housekeeping rules, and then we will do the announcements. Thank you again for everyone for attending. And good morning, Nina. We see you. We'll call you very soon. Thank you. Christopher, please do the housekeeping rules.
Yes, Ms. Madam Chair. As a reminder to everyone, if you're coming in, your microphone should be on and muted. Your camera is your choice to turn on or off. It's your choice. As a reminder, we do remind people as a courtesy and respect to any person who's speaking who has the floor to please have the courtesy and respect to them. As a reminder, this meeting is recorded. Transcript is noted, so please try to be careful what words you're going to say. We're talking about not using bad languages. Also, to remind everyone, we do have caption available. If you need it, you can go into click on more, and you will see caption. You can press it able, and just note you can translate to different languages as well. If you're having an issue, please put it into the chat, and I will adjust it from my end as the main host. As a reminder, when we get to questions, we always ask everyone, and I'll repeat, everyone to ask a question onto the hand raise or into chat. Please do not be shy, and please do not concern. It's good to ask questions to know what the answer is, and we can work together and solve it. As a reminder to everyone, all microphones are muted. Everyone should keep an eye on their Wi-Fi on your end. If your Wi-Fi goes low, that is on your end of your Wi-Fi. Now, please note, if you know that you want to find out the meeting ID number, it is located where this line is, which it says meeting ID phone number. That means you can come on the phone, or you can go on to your you can go on the computer, laptop, tablet, or cell phone. This is the housekeeping rule, so at this time, we want to thank everyone for being here. As a reminder, your microphone should be muted, not interrupting anyone who has the floor. That's including any of the advisory council executive members, and including the speaker who's speaking. At this moment in time right now, I'm going to ask anyone, as I move on, anyone has an announcement, this is the time to please raise your hand and please say what services, training, events, or resource fairs coming up, or any opportunities for families need to share. At this time, I'm going to click on to my panel area, and so far right now, the first person's hand up as I admit more people in. Sandy, you up first, followed by Laura from the library. Sandy.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Sandy Naper. I'm a parent, and I also work for Adapt Community Network. And I just want to let you know about two exciting webinars we're having. They're free webinars, and the first one is coming up this Thursday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And it's called Effects of Mental Trauma on Preschoolers. And Dr. Kelly Armusewitz from the Albert Einstein School of Medicine will be our speaker. We'll be having translation in Spanish and Mandarin. Registration is required. I'm going to drop the flyer and information about this in the chat. And also, the webinar after that will be how to help children succeed in school through assistive technology. That'll be Thursday, May 1st from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Representatives from the New York City Department of Education will be there to discuss this. And we will also be providing Spanish and Mandarin translations, and we hope you register for both of these. I'm going to drop the information and the flyers in the chat. Thanks very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Does anyone have any questions for Sandy before I proceed? As a reminder, if you don't, if you have a question later on, please put it into the chat. Thank you, Sandy. Moving on to Laura from the Brooklyn Public Library. Laura, we can't hear you. Oh, there you go. Now I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now. Sorry, it just took a second. Hi, I'm Laura Indick from Inclusive Services at Brooklyn Public Library. And we have a couple of upcoming events I wanted to tell you about. The first one is called When I'm Gone, Then What? And it's a future planning workshop for parents of people with disabilities. For anyone like transition age and up. And it's basically for parents and other caregivers planning financially, logistically for their children's future. I will drop a link in the chat. Just so you know, it is virtual and you do have to register in advance so you can get the Zoom link. And that's happening on Tuesday, April 29th. So in 1 week at 5 p.m. And then the next event, which perhaps will come up later as well, but is our Developmental Disability Resource Fair, which we do together with this wonderful organization. And our next one is happening May 2nd, which is next Friday, I believe, at 11 a.m. at the Washington Irving Library. So I will also drop a link with that information in the chat, and it'll also have the address of the library so you know where that one is. But we're doing those monthly and moving all around at pretty much everywhere in Brooklyn. We're covering a lot of different locations. So just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll put the links for those in the chat. Thanks.
And Laura, this is Chris. Just to let everyone know that that information is also available on the advisory and on the advisory council's website, and does give you directions how to get there by train, because we're not that far from the Whitecroft train station, which is the ADA accessible also. And Laura, can you please send regards to your staff behind you as well? Does anyone have any questions for Laura? As we are getting more people coming in, that's good. If no one else has questions for Laura, you can always ask her on the chat. So Laura, keep an eye on your chat as well. And please send regards to Carrie Banks and the staff behind you as well. Thank you, Laura. Okay, as we do get a good turnout attendance, I'm going to check my, let's just check. Anna Rivera, do you have an announcement? And just to remind everyone, giving her a second, if anyone has an announcement for your agency, doesn't matter if you're elected officials or not, please raise your hand so I know, so I can call on you. Anna Rivera, do you have any announcements? Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I just want to let everyone know that YAI family reimbursement programs still have family reimbursement for funds for individuals who are eligible through OPWGD. I'm going to put in the link, the flyer and the information and my email and my phone number. So if anyone who knows of anyone who wants to apply for family reimbursement, they can reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. It's good to hear from you, and good to see you last time. Now, moving down a second. I can't pronounce her name, Grace, and I can't say your last name. Do you have an announcement? And Grace, we don't hear you. Once again, Grace, we still don't hear you or see you. So I'm guessing your microphone may not be on the auto button. You might have it on something else. If you having an issue, can you, if you don't have an answer, you can please put it into the chat box. Then we'll read it for you. Thank you.
Christopher,
Thank you.
Jackie Tripolti. Jackie, do you have any announcements from NYSED?
I'm just gonna get to her with the hand raised also. Go, Jackie.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah, Jackie Tripodi. There's no L in my name, ladies. My husband would be deeply offended. So,
I know how to
just
pronounce it.
saying, just saying. NYSED does have funds available for reimbursement. We also have our sports and recreation tickets that are available. I will put all the contact information in the chat. We also have our transportation evaluations that are available. Again, I'm going to make sure I put everything in the chat. So feel free to use our services and contact me anytime you need.
This is Debbie. Thank you, Jackie, and please send our regards to Elizabeth as well as her sister Elizabeth. Great. I hate to do this. I blanked. But
Doris.
Doris Khan. Please also send our regards. But also, I want to thank your agency for being very supportive of the families and really pushing family support services the way that needs to be done. Thank you. Okay, Christopher, is there any?
Yes, Lucina Clark's hand is up. Lucina, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope everyone had a good Passover, good holiday. I was just putting in that I just want to say thank you to, the Family Support Council. Chris, thank you. My parents, we had some parents who were interviewed for Autism Awareness. As you know, this is Autism Awareness Month, and MTA did an interview with them, did like an interview, and they were doing like some speaking. So thank you again. The families were very, very appreciative. Also, I want to thank Brian. I know this weekend, as is Autism Awareness Month, we always try and have a lot of activities for the families, even though we serve our parents a lot, for the families to come to during this time. And on Saturday, we have Bikers for Autism. Thank you, Brian, for standing up, because I had some people who had called me who would love to come and do a table, which is fine. So you're more than welcome to come and do that and join us from 12 noon. I'm going to put in here from 12 noon to 4 and come and meet some amazing bikers who are supporting our event. Also to April 30th, we do a art exhibition, some amazing work. Most of the individuals work right now are at the UN, and the UN is having a whole autism exhibition until June. I think it's until June. So please go and take a look, everyone. So amazing work. Some of the artists are the parents, are the individuals who are part of our program. So their work is being shown at the UN as well, and also at our office. So on April 30th, we have that from 4 to 7. I know I sent it out. So if you have it, please pop in. Just pop in and say hi to some of the artists, or just even look at their amazing work, show appreciation. And also, I wear another hat. We are the chair of the legislation. We always say, one of the things I tell Debbie and all the parents and whoever joined us, making sure as providers, our parents are knowing not only to wait till budget time, which is like April, for legislators to know who we are, but for them to know that they're individuals, your providers, your families that you serve, that they should be contacting their representatives as well. Not only for budget time to say, I need something, but just to say thank you for having that bill. Thank you for making sure that we are aware of that disabilities do exist, and not only to wait until they have a child with disability or somebody else that they are so in the forefront. So we just want to thank them. Thank you for that bill you passed. Thank you, even though everything is going on right now, that we all need to be so involved in legislation, especially as our parents, making sure they know, do not cut. Last week, I know Hakeem Jeffries had a beautiful, amazing town hall here in Canarsie, and people came out in droves. talking about Social Security. Remember, Social Security is not only affecting our kids with disability, it's affecting everyone. So come on, not because your child has a disability, you should be fighting for everybody else. We should all be fighting together. So thank you all, and that's part of the legislation. I know if Maria might be on, but I just want to say thank you all so much, because it's so important to continue doing the advocacy. I don't call it the fight, because you're not fighting for your children, you're advocating and speaking up. All right, so have an amazing day. I know I have to run up for 11 o'clock for another meeting, but I'll be on. But I just want to give my spiel before I leave. I just want to appreciate all of you for joining us in our legislative meetings with Deborah and Chris for when we do that advisory council committee meeting. So thank you all. I'm seeing more people joining. And listen, the advocacy must go on. So thank you all so much. Hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday. Come and get a ride on the motorcycles or whatever, and just see some leather-cladded bikers. Have an amazing day all.
Thank you, Lucina, and I will be bringing that up a little bit later at my report as well. I know Deborah has something to add.
I want to thank you very much, Lucina. I want everyone to know Lucina is the co-chair for the legislative committee, and I am the co-chair for the Brooklyn DD Council, the parent provider information committee. So we also appreciate when everybody also comes to both of those meetings. And yes, Lucy and I are advocating together very intensely, because we want to make sure that OPWDD and Social Security and Medicaid, nothing is cut. It's being spent correctly. Yes, that's important. That is important. But we still need to make sure that we have these services for all of us. And I also want, if there are elected officials on the line, thank you for your staff to be there to help us. All right. Anybody else who has any announcements, please let us know right now. If you don't want to speak, please put in the chat. It's just as good.
Chair, we do have, I just want to clarify, because we had, excuse me, sorry.
All right.
Going the wrong pipe. Yes, Grace, put in the chat to everyone. Her microphone, her computer is not working properly, so I'm just gonna say, it's in the chat. Excuse me. She's just reminding everyone to please read the Receiving of OPW Eligibility Live in Brooklyn. We are located on with the LES of Manhattan. For more information, please reach out to Pearl at 212-420-1970, extension 123, and her email is there. So, Grace, if you're still here, could you please re-put that into the chat again? Somebody asked me, because everyone's putting things in the chat at the same time. Okay, let me just double check.
I want to add, Christopher. I want everyone to know that the event that Lucina is having this Saturday, everyone's invited, also to the library. Please bring as many families as you can. We are trying to make sure the families know what services there are for OPWDD. So please, everybody come. We need all your help. Go ahead, Chris. Anybody else? Okay. Alrighty. We'll move on. There's no other announcements? Okay.
Madam Chair, I said 1 second, please. 1 second, one voice, 1 second.
I only heard.
I got somebody.
No problem, sir.
Too many microphones already. You gotta limit the mic.
No problem.
Wayne from Chinese Planning Council, do you have an announcement?
Thanks, Chris. Just a quick announcement. CPC still have Brooklyn Family Reimbursement funding. If you have any client have a last minute submission and there's no agency taking it, we are available for you.
Thank you, Wayne. Just to let Lucina know if she's still here. Rochelle is here. Also the vice chair of the DD Council and New York City Fair. Rochelle, do you have anything you need to add on New York City Fairs?
You'll be seeing, hi, good morning. You'll be seeing a blast from New York City Fair shortly. We are planning a town hall on residential services, and we really want to find out people's questions so we know who best to invite and what areas to focus on. So keep your eyes peeled for the blast, and I know that Deborah will disseminate it from the Family Support Services, as she always does, and Brian will disseminate it to the Brooklyn DD Council as well. But we really, really want your input on what particular areas you're interested in. Certified housing, non-certified housing, where's your confusion, where's your challenges? So please fill that out, and we're planning to do one in probably in June. And before that, we're looking to have a town hall, both with the Ombudsman program, as well as we're inviting the Director of Advocacy for OPWDD to talk about her program and her department. Thank you.
To me, Rochelle, this is Debbie. I'm bringing up one point that a lot of people don't realize with residential services. Again, we parents are so used, we're usually the rep pay for our own child when they get Social Security funding. But we also need to explain to families that when the child is placed residentially, especially even in whether it's certified or not, but when they move to a different resident, their children's money follows them. So I hope that will be addressed at that town hall in reference to residential, because I've had parents who have actually screamed at me and called me a liar when I said, it's not our money, it's their money, but we have to pay the bills for them. So I hope we can add that in, and please have specialists that can explain, and also what the difference is for residential Social Security benefits and Medicaid benefits than for when they live at home. So thank you very much, and let's work together as a team and keep up that advocacy work. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Okay, Madam Chair, now we can move on. Our next agenda, since everyone else did a good amount of announcements, we'll move on. I have to remind you, if I didn't call you, or because I don't know if you're a parent of this, but don't worry, you can still put that information into the chat. And as a remind you, we do, at this moment, I'm going to ask Nina to come in, but I just to remind everyone, please make sure you, as Rochelle mentioned, both council chairs, which I love the way they say it, please make sure you visit both council's websites, and I'll remind you, if you continue having more service openings, events, or training events, or anything, please email to both councils and make sure you visit the website as well. And as I'm getting right to Nina.
Yes,
Good
hi,
morning.
good morning. Good morning.
And just
Does everyone hear me?
I said, Nina, this is Chris. You're loud and clear. The whole world can hear you.
All right, very good, very good. So I'm happy to be here today and give you, I'll provide some updates. So as you know, the budget hasn't passed yet. There is a lot of advocacy pushing the proposal. So it may take, the budget review may take another week, but hopefully it will be approved soon. And there's a lot of communication and supports and with elected officials. So hopefully we will have some news soon. OPWDD, we posted a new video for families to watch. The video is for CAS, a coordinated assessment system overview video. It gives the presentation on the CAS system. It talks about the process, how it works, the purpose of the CAS assessment, the roles of the families, the expectations, and the information that the CAS assessors are collecting. I'll share the link in the chat. So please share with the families, especially who are new to OPWDD system, or families who do not have a good understanding of what the CAS assessment is for. This is an important tool that OPWDD will be using in determining what are the best services for the individuals. Okay, so as I said, I will share the CAS video, the link to the video with you after the presentation. I'm going to move to the next topic. So OPWDD is excited. We're excited because we have a brand new service coming online. It's a waiver service, Home Enabling Supports. Home Enabling Supports is a sub-component of the assistive technology in OPWDD waiver. And it will provide assistive devices, technology, remote supports, and health assessment coordination services, acquisitions for the benefits of the waiver enrolled individuals who live in non-certified homes, and the benefit can be up to $5,000 per calendar year. So to be eligible for Home Enabling Support Service, the individual must be 15 years old or older, OPWDD eligible, waiver enrolled, and living in a community in a non-certified residence. Basically, the person must live at home. Through Home Enabling Supports, we will authorize Medicaid-funded devices and supports that relate to projected values and valued outcomes. And we are hoping that with the Home Enabling Supports, people living at home will increase, maintain, and improve the safety and independence while living at home. They will have better health outcomes. They will have a meaningful participation in the community, and it will minimize of having a supervised staff to be present for the assistance. In New York City, we have selected 3 providers who will be delivering home enabling supports. It's a Center for Family Support, ADAPT, and Person-Centered Services. Since this is a new service, the OPWDD, we are currently working on making changes to the system. It will be a change to the SAC approval service, right? It will be a change to the DDP-1. We will be providing training to the CCOs, to the providers, to the staff. So, and hopefully this service will be available later this summer. And right now we are also working with Department of Health on establishing the rates for home enabling supports. So my next update would be we remember I talked last year about CCO program evaluation, and we hired American Institute for Research that worked on evaluating the effectiveness of CCO practices. The American Institute of Research, they completed their report. There are a lot of recommendations to the current system. So the report will be shared soon, but the final report was completed. So that is the exciting update. I wanted to state that OPWDD as an agency, we are continue to stay committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. With the release of 2022 strategic plan, we committed to address the gaps in services for underserved and culturally and ethnically diverse communities. This commitment included the goals of increasing access to OPWDD services for marginalized communities, improving capacity of OPWDD and a provider agency to support people from diverse backgrounds, improving the morale of the staff and people who serve, and improving services of information and supports. our agency's work falls within 3 areas. The initiatives we take as a New York State agency to improve access for DUI, we take initiatives as a provider of services, and we make changes to the regulatory requirements as an oversight agency. So we remain committed to pursuing our work in these areas. We have received guidance from the Office of General Services of language access and federal actions. The federal administration issued an executive order designating English as the official language of the United States. This executive order revokes the order that was implemented in August 11 of 2000, 25 years ago, and requires that you see U.S. Attorney General to replace existing policy guidance with the updated guidance. However, this new executive order does not require or direct any change in services provided by any federal executive agency. Okay, so the executive order does not require federal agencies to amend, remove, or stop production of documents prepared in languages other than English. This order does not affect the requirements under or the implementation of New York State language access law. On the contrary, New York State remains firmly committed and fully prepared to support families and agencies in continuing to implement this law to ensure that all New Yorkers have access to government services and benefits, no matter their level of English proficiency or their what is their preferred language. If you have, if as an agency you have some questions coming from the outside stakeholders about diversity, equity, inclusion activities, you can reach out to our counsel's office for further guidance. All right, and finally, I want to mention quickly that OPWDD entered in a 2-year contract with a nonprofit agency, Elevers City, and we are working on developing the training for the providers who are delivering DHAP services. The purpose of the training is to develop programs that will help people to move from DHAP services to employment services, right? And we are currently working with providers, self-advocates, families, and consultants to create a plan and to ensure that people have a comprehensive career plan and moving to the employment as feasible. And we are working on reducing system barriers and disincentives that prevent movement to employment and vocational services, in addition to increase community engagement. And this is very exciting. I know that a lot of agencies have staffing issues, and it will be a hardship, maybe a hardship for providers to let their staff to go and receive the training, but we are working on the incentives and how to make it work. And finally, I want to mention quickly that we have the updates for FSS RFP, Family Support Services Request for Proposal. The RFP was officially released on April 9. Right now, we are in a 2-week period of question submissions. All the questions are sent to the central office. After the 2-week period with the Family Support Services RFP is ended, OPWDD will answer the questions to the providers who are interested. And then we are expecting the proposals from the interested agencies to be submitted to OPWDD by May 28. Once we have the proposals, there will be several levels of scoring the proposals. And the tentative award dates for, we hope that we will have by July 21st. We will know who, if we have awarded providers who are interested to expand the FSS services in New York City. So, and and finally, we are working, and probably Deborah will have to add to that, we are working on guidance for site visits, right? And so that's what our FSS staff will be implementing to ensure that we annually visit site-based programs offered through the FSS contracts. And that's it for me today.
Nina,
Thank
this
you,
is Deborah.
Nina.
I want to
Go
thank
ahead.
I want to thank you so much for that very intense but very informative report. Now, in reference with site visit training, as you know, that it is required that our councils do it, but I want everyone to hear with the big but. One, we do have everyone do a conflict of interest form, because if, and I'm only going to use me as the example, and if I say anything wrong, I appreciate if Nina cuts in. If my child is receiving the services, say from the Blue Agency, I cannot do the site visit. I have to have another member who is not receiving services from the Blue Agency to do the site visit. Also, all parents, members of the advisory who will have to be trained, even though I know how to do it, I will always do retraining, because it's better to be kept up in the loop than not to be. What Nina said about the RFP is true. We have now, Brooklyn already has its 2 scorers, and we have 3 alternates. We are waiting for the dates for when we get trained. Now, due to the fact after the RFPs are done and awarded, the Advisory Council will start doing it either virtually or maybe both, in-person trainings on how to do site visits, as well as understanding how to do RFPs and how we also gather information for what services are needed. We have to make sure we get family support services. That's our role. We do let our local DDRO know. That means our family support coordinator, Angela Blades, as well as Robin Mooney. We make sure that the member who goes up to Albany has the information that's going on for their local council. At the same time, we bring back information. So that's whatever Nina said. But Nina, I have one point question. Can you repeat the name of I know I heard it's ADAPT, then it's Center for Family Support, but I didn't catch the third name. Could you please just repeat that name again?
PCCS, Person-Centered Services. It's a Staten Island agency, right?
Okay.
So the services, right? The agencies have the approvals. We have issued the approvals to them, but service has not been initiated because we need to establish rates, and we have to make all those changes in the system, for the service to be available.
I'm asking because it was text, and also a couple of people asked on chat, and I caught the other two. They caught the two, and I thought I heard, but I appreciate that very much. Also, all the new changes that are coming, that's great. I'm glad, because we have to keep evolving. And also, the other thing is, I want to just bring up something that's been brought to me by a lot of parents. There's some parents who want to run their own OPWDD agency. I said to them they will need to contact OPWDD. So I also, when you know where and how you're going to be doing this with providers, you can let me know, and I will also let you know the families or parents who who are actually expressing interest, and these couple of them have 501c3 agents, parent agencies. So before, and I won't mention their names here, but I want you to know that I'm getting a lot of young parents who want to do this, two are they want to learn everything that they possibly can. So I believe in educating and bringing up the next generation. But that's done for me. So I just want you to know I will keep you in the loop of everything. And again, thank you for that great report. I appreciate it, Chair. Thank you.
You're welcome. So for the families or nonprofit agencies who would like to become a waiver provider, we have the process. They have to submit the application to become a waiver provider or the letter of intent. I can share the email in the mailbox. We currently are not approving new waiver providers. We usually will look at our vacancies and the availability of the services within the particular area, but we have the established process. So I'm going to drop the email that agencies or those who have questions about how to become a provider, so they can send the question, right? And just one point of clarification that the trainings for the FSS RFP for the scores, we expect the trainings in the week of May 7, in 2 weeks. Okay, so the training will be provided to to everyone who will be evaluating the proposals in New York City. And it's exciting because New York City is reinvesting $1.3 million back into the community, and I hope we will find the providers who will be interested to use those funds and help the families to achieve their goals.
Thank you very much, Nina. And we did use a survey process that was done through the statewide for all the 19 councils. And if everyone wants to know why I put housing first, all I kept seeing was housing, 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 housing. And I said, don't understand how, in case I'm threatening my child, I threaten with eviction or what to do. So I put that as number one. Number two, because I also have a lot of families, whether they live in an apartment or a private home, they need adaptive services. So that was number two. And the issue about children with challenging behaviors, put that as number three. The other family support program I wanted to, but I didn't have enough justification. And that's the other thing. So I was very cautious of what we did, but I did go by surveys. I did explain to the rest of my exec board, and they were very, very pleased with what we did, because we are always worried because landlords our kids make noise or do something wrong, they go after us. So that's why we did that. But again, thank you very much. And yes, my members, we're ready for the trainings when they come. Again, thank you. If anybody else has to ask Nina a question, please raise their hand.
This is Mr. Bryce. You have your hand raised from Chinese Planning Council. Wayne, go ahead.
Thanks, Christopher. Thanks, Deborah. I just have one question for Nina. I do read through the RFP, and I believe the housing advocate is really good things for nowadays, especially everything's rocket hiding on the price. But I realize that for that program, I have something extra wants to add on the RFP. So when we submit the proposal, should we also add it on and give you an explain of why?
So you're working currently on submitting the RFP for family support services, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the question is why you're proposing housing? I'm not. Can you repeat the second part of your question?
Okay, because I'm seeing for the housing advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
So my office and my agency in Brooklyn area are more like south area, like from the Perspec Park all the way down to Cody Island. We serve that area.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
more we found out in the past decade when I'm doing family support and helping the family, contacting I think the only agency we're doing in Brooklyn is QSAC. But yeah, that's not the thing. The thing is a lot of family doesn't know what their rights are, what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do. There's no webinar to educate them about those knowledge. Until 4 years ago, I get my real estate license. Pandemic. I get my real estate license. I learn a lot of stuff, and then I can slowly educate the family. I realize that a lot of them didn't know their rights, and a lot of them didn't know how to advocate their rights. I think right now I will add that part, like maybe workshops, maybe groups, into my RFP, and add that into why I want this program as a community-based organization to make the entire community, make everybody's life in their fair level. I will say this one because Deborah also mentioned it. A lot of landlords, they have bias. A lot of landlords have bias before they seeing the family start taking a home tour to rent the apartment, to buy the apartment. So that is also another population I'm trying to educate them. Thank you.
And you should absolutely add that, as long as you meet the requirements, right? I don't have the RFP in front of me, the documents, right? But you can follow the rules, right? And we determined the priorities. Housing is one of those priorities for Brooklyn, as Deborah mentioned, right? As long as you follow the rules of the RFP, you can, you can certainly add that information and submit it. Or if you have questions, right? The RFP, at the end of the document, there is an email that you can send to the central office with the specifics, right? And they will get back to you. So it's a good time we are within this 2-week question period. So I would also encourage you to send that question to central office.
Thanks for clarifying.
I do have a question for Wayne. This is Chris, and I think Deborah will agree with me. As the chair of the outreach committee, and I have mentioned this to Lena just to let you know as well, and Angela will agree with me as well. Wayne, also, you should be reminding the families to try to attend the advisory council meeting and the DD council and the provider information, because if they need training, they should be attending those meetings, and even the library. When Carrie mentioned to you the day we're at the resource fair, because Robin has mentioned this to you as well, that the families need to attend. So as a reminder to everyone here, if a family needs to know when the meetings are, as I will mention in my report later, but I want to make sure Nina hears this and it's duly noted on the record, please let your families know to try to attend a meeting. And they can watch this on the recording, because all our recordings, it goes onto the YouTube channel and it's linked to our website. So Wayne, I hope you heard me clearly what I'm saying.
Roger that. Got you.
Roger, yes, but please, let's make sure we help every single family. Ms. Graff, you want to add?
Yes, I do. Wait, I understand it's very hard for families with children with developmental disability. I'm a parent too. But you see, I ask questions. I'm constantly asking parents. They say they can't wait to complain to me. And then when I try to work with them to follow through with the complaint, or they're having issues with housing or anything, they don't follow through. So we need families and I'm going to say this because this is being recorded. If you're having issues or problems, and we will assist you. I'm not making the complaint for you. We're going to do it together. When it comes to the issues with housing, we're very lucky. There is Synergeria as well as DEP. There are a few agencies that do housing advocacy. Also, and I'm not going to mention them all because they're on the website. The reason we put the RFP out the way we did, we need, and yeah, right, also AHRC, we need more agencies, also agencies who represent families who English is not their first language, or they don't think in English also and I don't want any families being evicted because they have a child with a developmental disability. And we did put those surveys were put out across all of New York State. And we got a large, and the biggest thing I got was housing advocacy, housing help. Since we live in Brooklyn and Kings County, we're the largest and most populous county also to receive services through OPWDD. And when I heard that this was the big problem, put it in. That's what I did. So we can talk more, but please come to the other meetings, have your families. If there's issues with translations, let us know. We'll work together so we can make sure that they comprehend and understand, because I don't want anyone feeling like they just go to the meeting and don't understand. We want them to understand this is their services, and please advocate with them. Thank you. All right. We do have to move on. Does anyone else have any questions or concerns for Nina? Please let her know.
Yeah, just the one thing before Nina go. Nina put something on the chat just so everyone knows to please look at the chat. There are two things there. Please everyone to please share that with everyone. So please make sure you guys do that. This will be added to the website during the end of this week. So please note that I will be updating this. This will be available on the OPWDD page, and it will be also added into the news update page as well. So there'll be two locations on that. You will see that information that will say update OPWDD information, go to news update or OPWDD page on our website. Does anyone else?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As I was trying to say, does anyone else have any questions for Nina? Otherwise, thank you, Nina.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair,
My retirement.
now you're skipping again. You're left out a lot of people.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you didn't leave me my agenda in front of me.
The agenda was let's stay focused.
All right, Brian is not here this morning. Rochelle, do you want to do the report?
Just gonna say, Rochelle, do you want to do a partial report? Because I know we have the meeting and the fair. Rochelle? I think she's having a little.
Okay, I totally understand. I would like to...
I got it. I'll just do this quick because just move this quick. This is the one thing that Ms. Greif and I will both agree, and this is to remind to everyone. The Family Support Fair is coming up June 18th. As to remind everyone, you see the Q code, scan it. Please get your families and agencies. If you're registering to get a booth, let's get it done now. Let's get it done right now. And I'm going to remind everyone, the fair is coming up. Before I proceed, Sandy, is there a question? Because your hand is up. Because I'm trying to.
I have a question for Nina, if she's still there.
I'm still here.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think you mentioned the date of the training for the council members. And I think, did you mention May 7th?
It would be the week of May 7th. This is for FSS council scores, right? Those, if you, yeah. So we don't have the final dates yet, but we had a meeting yesterday with the central office, right? And we have those timelines with the dates. So we are targeting the week of May 7th. And I believe the trainings will be recorded.
Right, but May 7th is a Wednesday.
May 7th, it would be the week. May, April.
Right, it is a Wednesday, but Monday is the 5th. But Sandy, they're just saying just the week. And we will, once I'm informed, I'm going to share it with the members of the RFP team for Brooklyn that are the readers and the alternates. All right?
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
I understand that.
I'm so sorry. I'm looking back at my notes. May 5th, around the week of May 5th. Okay, so that week, sometime that week.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry,
Yes,
Cindy.
thank
You know, I make sure that our council members get what the info they need. And thank you, Nina. It was okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
just to give everyone, since we're still on this screen, please, everyone, please make sure that you register for the Family Support Fair that is coming up, that is on June 18th. Please make sure you pass this word out. Just to remind you, any resource fair you will see the Advisory Council or the DD Council, you can also register with them at the table, and they can write it in with your name, email address, so they can register you in. Now, please note, if you are bringing your child, they're welcome as well, but I'll remind you, this is a resource fair that is going to run from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're at Brooklyn College Student Center. We do have directions how to get there. Accessoride knows where it is, 2705 Campus Road. It's between East 27th and, let's just say, Amford. It's not easy to say, but let's just say. Accessoride is aware of this. So let me just move on, and we'll repeat this again and again until everyone gets it. Just to remind everyone, I think Rochelle will agree with me if she's still here. Our next DD Council meeting is this Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Zoom. Please make sure you're attending, and please let your families know. Pass the word out as well. They're on a normal schedule, so please make sure that you guys get the link. And to remind you, all the meeting date schedules are both on both websites and goes right to the calendar. Thanks to Brian as well, putting that into the calendar. So let me just move on from there to my report so we can go through it quickly. And I'm just going to note, if you have questions about DD Council, please wait till I finish, and as well as my report. Now, just to remind everyone, I did get this just this morning. One of the Medicaid offices is actually moving from where it used to be 404 Pine Street, which is around the corner of Euclid Avenue train station. Now moving to their new location, which is right across from the Broadway Junction train station. This is going to be getting Monday, May 19th. They will take over the 3rd and 4th floor at 2400 Fulton Street. As a reminder, there is no accessible station over there, but there are buses there that will connect. The buses that are right there are the B20, 224, B25, 256, and B83. Other buses nearby are over there as well, the 12, the B60. They're not that far, but I'm just going to remind you, it's a little. There are buses around there that will take you to the next accessible train station as well. Medicaid is aware of this, and I know a lot of people in that part of Brooklyn always get concerned of locations. You can always check them. You can also send their information at dssoutreach@dss.nyc.gov. And just to remind you, access HRA, SNAP and cash, or SNAP balances. And if you have any questions about SNAP, you can call them at 718-SNA-NOW, which that will translate to, if you look on your phone pad, it will give you the letters of the numbers as well. So that will be very simple. It is 7 6 2 7 6 6 9 is the number, and it's already noted onto the caption. Okay, as I will move on, and just to remind everyone, it's been a lot of outreach going on. As Laura mentioned earlier, thank God, instead of not just me saying it. As you know, the Advisory Council and the Brooklyn Public Library has been going very well with resources, thanks to a lot of agencies who are here today and some who are not with us. But we are doing a lot of outreach and coming out, and a lot of resources have been going around. So our website numbers are up, as well as the DD councils, because Brian and I haven't discussed this before we came back. Our numbers are increasing, so we do want to make sure that everyone's aware that please make sure that you visit our websites. But we'll discuss that in a few minutes. Let me focus on the Development Disability Resource Fair. Our next one is May 2nd. That spot is now full because we have at least 14 agencies that are going to be there. This will be the Washington Urban branch, which is 360 Urban Avenue, not far, at least 5 to 10 minutes from the Wyckoff train station, which you all know is ADA accessible, and it's in the border of Queens and Brooklyn. So please don't worry, because it's right outside where Richwood just comes in. As a reminder to everyone, it doesn't matter, you don't have a table, still come, bring your information and share your information. It's called Get to Know the Libraries, because you don't know, the library could put some of that information on their tables. And that's how you get more additional service slots full, F-U-L-L, full as well. Okay, moving on. As we're coming up to July, which is a couple of months from now, as we celebrate Disability Pride Month 10-year anniversary, celebrating the ADA 35, which is 2 anniversaries. July, we will, now just want everyone to know that June, we will not do a Development Disability Resource Fair because the Family Support Fair is that month. Too much resources, too much headache. And 8 other boroughs are also getting ready to do it as well. So we move, our next date for that one is announced today, July 8th at the Grand Army Plaza. I have not announced which agencies because right now our focus is getting May 1st done. And second, please make sure you guys register for the Family Support Fair first. I will get back to you once May 2nd is done. But I challenge all the agencies, all the elected official representatives, OPFDD knows I'll challenge them anyway, to please make sure to let everyone know that this year is a special year. We want to make sure that July Disability Pride Month, 10th year, and ADA 35 is a good one. Please make sure that you let your families know. It doesn't matter if they're little kids, adults, seniors, whoever, come. You might see surprises. I am not going to announce which agencies are going to be there because it's going to be a surprise. If I mention it, then no one shows up. Ha 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 ha. That's what I'm going to do to you all. Laugh. A little bit is to be determined. Now, getting back to Reduce Fair Omni. Now, I am going to remind a lot of agencies because some of them are sending people to the wrong direction. I want to remind everyone, and I don't want to hear the drama dance because fortunately my camera's not working right now, so you don't see me playing my violin. We're reminding you all, once a person, doesn't matter if you're a disability or senior, I'm only talking about reduced fare, not fair fares. Fair fares is HRA. If once you get an Omni card that looks like that picture and the back says RF, and let's say you didn't get it in the mail, or the card got run over by a bus or a train, I don't have to wait for where the reduced fare vehicle is. I can go to a customer service center. In Brooklyn, we have Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center, and Coney Island Stillwell Avenue. Now, Coney Island Stillwell Avenue is the main site for all of us. That's at the last stop, right next door to Subway's restaurant, which is outside the system. That is open, well, every customer service center is open 24/7. Now, once you get the card, please make sure you register it onto your Omni account, which is omni.info, signed up. Make sure your email is ready for that. Once you do that, then you can keep track of your balance. You don't have to put a bank card in if you don't want, but if you want to know if it's low, at least it will let you know ahead of time. And as I said before, you don't need to worry if the card gets lost, stolen, or gets damaged. You can always go to a customer service center and they will replace the card. And once you check it, it's ready to go. The money will transfer automatically to the new card. They have the machines to do it there. We have tested it. I already tested it in with every location. And trust me, it's been working fine. So please make sure you look at this. Now, I am going to remind all agencies, if you want MTA to come, please let them know. MTA accessibility at nyct.org. And that email is always located on our website. And customer service centers, not just in Brooklyn, they're all located in all 5 boroughs, 24/7. That means, yes, and even Staten Island has one, St. George Terminal. Again, open 24/7. As Lucina mentioned earlier, this month is Autistic Awareness Month. Yours truly was one of the speakers. We did have New York City NYC with My Time Inc. and the education from non-district 75 and district 75 were all attendees. And we did have some agencies there. YEI, HRC, CUSAC were all there with their families. And let me say this, we had a really good turnout. Yes, we do have the 10 people that are speaking at train stations saying certain things. And let me just say this, yes, it will happen again next year. I will let everyone know. And we will let you guys know when that press comes. This year we have to proceed with caution, and I don't want to go over the details because it will upset everyone. But let's just make sure that Autistic Awareness Month is a very important month, as well as Disability Pride Month. So I just want to move forward on this piece, but just so everyone know, all the kids, all the families were happy. You can watch it, the YouTube channel, but I can tell you, if you see them, how happy they were. This is at the Fulton Street Center. And let me just say, they were very happy. So for us to be there, it was a great day on that. Just to let everyone know that surveys is still in effect for stations. We have now added additional 13 more stations in the system. So please make sure you visit the website, which is mta.info/accessibility. Select stations, and you can do the survey. It will pop up in the bottom. Choose what station you want accessible. You might see additional stations added into the list. There are supposed to be 10 more, but I will say this, to be determined at next week's MTA Board Committee meeting at the Capitol. As we remind you, everyone, it is important to please do the survey. Doesn't matter if you're not using it, but you can help someone else do it. And to remind everyone, as everyone's mentioned about how to find your elected officials, we have this on our website. It is called www.us.gov/elected-officials. You put in your information, it will tell you who your local elected officials, that is from, not just city, state, feds, and local city as well. This is the link that's right here. And if I click it, it'll go directly to the website, which I'm not going to do that, but it is available on our website as well. It's www.us.org/elected-officials as well. And just to remind everyone, please make sure you visit our website as well as the DD Council's website. If you have service openings, please make sure you send it to Brian. Please make sure you send it to, as well as yours truly, so we can add it to the website. And that's including any news update stuff, like, for example, New York City Fair sends me the stuff. I add it to our website, news update. If there's a certain meeting, I will add it to our end, so everyone is aware on this. This is all what's been going on. And just to remind everyone, MTA's budget so far is doing okay with congestion pricing. Please be careful when you listen to the news, because some news medias like to make false and claim lies. The congestion pricing right now is doing well, and it's been helping getting access to right on-time performance. And if there's traffic, that means there's got to have been a car accident. They have been moving, and to see the vehicles moving a little better, I'll say it's getting progress. But I remind you that our elected officials forget, and I will say, doesn't matter which one, about our population, disability. So we need to remind to be more advocating, not just the budget, but everything else as well. But we do want to make everyone aware that this is important times that we have to do. I'm gonna ask if anyone has any questions for me, because I see the chat coming in with a lot of messages, so I'm just gonna read that. Madam Chair, do you want to add anything as I mentioned?
No, the only thing I'm going to add in, first of all, I should have said Autism Awareness Month. There have been so many events around New York City, Brooklyn, but we also as parents have to make sure that we keep up our advocacy. Also, once our children turn 18 and they're an American citizen, register them to vote, as well as you register too. And this way, the more they see numbers in voting, it will help our population. No, I have nothing else. Thank you, Chris.
I asked Sandy, because her hand is up, before we move on, just to remind everyone, we do have a special election in the Senate district over in Brooklyn. Please recheck if if you're in that zone for state senate. That used to have been Seth Fella, now he is a council member, which is technically us, is across the street, but he's not us, but he's now a state senator now. So we're reminding you all to please check your voting area. Please visit our website with the voting station as well. Sandy's hand went down. I don't know if she has a question for me. Sandy, do you have a question for me?
No, Chris, I forgot to put my hand down from the last question.
Okay, I'm still here. So let me just say, Sandy, you have a question for me?
No, Chris, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is somehow interfering. I have to check that. Okay, since no one else has any questions or concern right now, Madam Chair, it's your turn to move on to your report and report, as well as chairperson's report. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Hello again, everyone. Yes, we had, okay, I want you to know that when we have our statewide meeting, the last one, we were actually at 25 people. Chris was there with me, and I did have, we were able to get a few of the agencies and a few parents to come in person to sit with us while we spoke. The statewide members, we have been working on certain things we'd like just a little tweak. We want to make sure that parents/agencies who have concerns about family support services or things may not working, or want to let they have things they want to inform OPWD or make their opinion known, that we're trying to make it that the public session will be like in the middle of the meeting. It's still up in negotiation. So before anyone goes, what do you mean? But all I'm telling you is we are speaking because every month there is an executive meeting with the statewide members. We are doing this to make sure that we have the meeting with the commissioner and the central office up in Albany. They can hear our concerns, but they also keep us updated on changes or what services there are. So we are trying to keep everything updated with everyone. As what Nina said about the RFPs, yes, we will, we're waiting for the official dates for the scorers and then the alternates to be trained. Once they're trained, well, we'll be doing the scorers when OPW tells us they're ready for us. We also remember everyone has to do a COI. I'll repeat that again. It means conflict of interest. That means if your child is receiving service, but you're also on the board of the agency your child's receiving services, you cannot be a scorer for that agency. You also cannot do a site visit. This has been their policy even when OPWDD was OMR. The other thing we are talking about is we will soon be working on seeing to make sure the reimbursement program, the ADM reimbursement, is working, but we want to wait until after RFPs are done, and then we will be contacting families and agencies. Please let us know what you think. I do chair the subcommittee. We're only doing advocacy. You still have to submit your correct information to whoever is the reimbursement to the agencies, and then they send it to, in Brooklyn, it's Angela Blades who reads the reimbursement. My role with the other statewide members is just to advocate. When families complain that, wait, this used to be on the allowable, why is it not on the allowable? That's the area where I will be advocating with my fellow council members who are on my ADM committee for the statewide. We are going slow and carefully because We want to make sure, because remember, these are New York State tax dollars that are being spent. We do not want to spend the money inappropriately, and we do have to follow rules and regulations. We also, our role is to advise our local DDRO as well as Central for New York City, as well as Central for in Albany, what's working and what's not working. Now, also, I want you to know that we have been, I want to thank the Brooklyn Public Library, because we've been able to help more families know that there's services out there. But one of the biggest misconceptions, and I'm going to bring this up, is this. They say it takes so much time to get the waiver. You're right, Medicaid waiver takes a very long time because one, OPWD doesn't run the program. It's done through Medicaid. Remember that when your child is under 18, we're legally responsible to support the child. But if they have a developmental disability or say a catastrophic illness, we are able to apply in OPWDD world, and that's what I'm going to stick with. You apply to get the waiver through care manager, and you try, and it does take a little time because everything has to be checked and counter-checked. They have to make sure the child is OPWDD eligible, as well as is the child living at home with the family or not. These are things that people need to understand. Also remember, in New York City, Brooklyn is the largest amount of people trying to apply for services. I've had families, I was at an event last week for Autism Awareness Month, and a couple of parents said to me, I make too much money, they'll never let me get, and I said, stop right there. The reason you're applying for the waiver is they're waiving your working income so that you can get the right help for your child. But once your child is OPWDD eligible, you can apply for family support reimbursement. Your agencies will help you. Yes, I know we have our care managers, but at the same time, remember something. If your child's OPWDD eligible and all you want is family support services, that's fine. If you want to do self-direction, fine, you can apply for that. The waiver does take time because, as I said, we don't control it. We also do not control Social Security. But one important thing everybody must be aware of, and please keep emphasizing this agency to the family. Excuse me? Okay. That everyone needs to know this. That if you do not have your child developmental disability diagnosed before the age of 22, have the word of a developmental, whatever type, it used to be MR, now it's intellectual, be cerebral palsy, Tourette's, autism. Before the age of 22, it'll be practically impossible for the child to get certain benefits under Social Security. It started in 1939. Yes, I'm a broken record, but let me tell you something. When your child can get Medicare and Medicaid under the higher wage earner of its parent, and now they also have those OTC over-the-counter cards to help the families, help that person. That's a lot of help that you are not taking. These are the rules since they've improved and they have been updating it. That's why you also now have the Medicaid waiver, but you must make sure developmental disabilities must be diagnosed or shown that there was a mention that your child was showing it before the age of 22. That is Social Security rules. So I'm asking everyone, please don't give that up. And it is a very important thing to understand. When Hakeem Jeffries, he didn't have just also that in-person town hall he did a phone one, and we were talking about Social Security, and he is my congressman, and I brought up about the issue that I'm afraid this current administration may cut the important services and help that our children collect because of their developmental disability. And he said I was right to be concerned and explained we have to make sure we understand the benefits, how to apply it, and also to keep advocating to keep it. So this is very important. Now, then I hope everyone also registers for the Family Support Fair in Brooklyn. It's a great event to get all that current information. Also, if you know families whose children are in a 10-month program, please let them know if their child has developmental disability, they qualify. Does anybody have any questions for me before I go on? Okay. We also hope everybody shows up to our library resource fairs because, as I said, families, you never know what help you can get. 2, agencies. The Brooklyn Public Library's inclusive services is very, very helpful because they do take your information and they spread it to all the branches in Brooklyn. That's a wide network. And they also, well, I will tell you, because we have the Angela Haskell Library coming, which is part of, even though, yes, they are originally with the New York's Public Library, that's Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, they do share that information, even with Queens, who has their own separate partnership. So you're going to get free advertisement, and you look at all those families you'll be helping. So we're also helping everyone. We have great partnership with them, and we are continuing. We'll have a bigger one, resource fair, with them in July, and we will discuss it more. But right now, my biggest push is 1, for May 2nd, and 2, we want to make sure that the Brooklyn Family Support Fair, we get as many families in there as possible. As you see, for families and professionals, unless you're buying a table, is free. If you also know families who need translation services, please let us know immediately. And this is even just as important. If you know they need American Sign Language, we really need to know that way in advance. So please, we help you, please help us. All right? I also hope I see everybody at Monday's meeting, April 28th, for the Brooklyn DD Council's meeting. Also, yes, Christopher kept explaining to you about the Omni. As soon, eventually, we need all of this. And as you see budget highlights, please make sure that we let them know why we need the education, funding, healthcare, the infrastructure, mental health. Yes, Archie, we need to keep also giving more funding for STAR programs, but also mental health, because many of our we are various parents of children with developmental ability. Remember, we are caring for them for life. We may need mental health to get us through when we're stressed. It's not the end of the world, but we need to make sure we also have enough money for additional psychiatric inpatient beds, because there's no cure at the moment for mental illness. You get help, but it has to be maintained. As you see, we also need to make sure they modernize IBR, which is a very important thing. Transportation. We would love to make sure that New York City's train stations are so accessible that we very rarely have to worry how we're going to get on the train. This also includes all the bridges that go around New York City that are owned by the MTA. The Verrazano, the Whitestones, the Throgs Neck, what we call Triborough now, the RFK, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, now known as the Governor Carey, and also the Queens Midtown Tunnel. We need to make sure the roads that are going in and out of the tunnel, the structures, are in good shape for all the bridges and also the tunnels. And we need to constantly have the potholes fixed, because if you ever sit in an accessorized vehicle or a car and you're going over these bumpy roads, we need them fixed. As you see, we also need to keep fighting for human rights, to keep their budget up, and early intervention. As you know, the more help we get when their children are younger, the further they may be able to go. We have to improve. As I said, we need tax relief for our families too, and we have to maintain a $21 billion in funding. As you see, there's on here the website to find out who is your elected officials. Now, everybody should know this. Our governor is Governor Kathy Hochul. She's statewide. Our statewide state attorney general is Letitia James. Our statewide controller is Thomas DiNapoli. Our statewide senators, United States Senator, is Charles Schumer, or known as Chuck Schumer, as well as Christian Gillibrand. In New York City, we have citywide officials, as well as who only go by the borough or county. So please, and remember, get to know who's your state assembly, state senator, your city council person, because you know what? Budget negotiations are going on. We have to keep the nice pressure on them. OPWD must be funded correctly so that we can always see that our families are well taken care of. Does anybody have any questions for me? If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand.
Madam Chair, there was questions on the chat.
Okay.
I just want to be clear before we do. Just to remind everyone, it is important to mention questions on this. I just want to remind people questions are important. So please, let's do our part on this, because it's very serious that comments and questions that we hear from everyone. But also it's important that, as Deborah mentioned, the budget, we need to continue making sure that Medicaid is not being cut. So please let them know, especially you don't want to have to hear the word library being cut at this time as well. So let's please do our part as well. Madam Chair, your camera went off, so I don't know what happened, but
I can see me. Can everyone see me?
now I can see you.
Okay. Yes. Just get that. It is important that we let the elected officials know we're voters. We live in their district. We work in their district. It's very important. We have to let them. Any questions?
Yeah. What I'm getting into, you were saying, it's also, as a reminder, I said earlier, please make sure, check your district if you don't have a special election, because voting does do that. And a reminder, don't forget, June is the regular primary. As you know, this year is the city, so we need to make sure we vote for who we are voting for. And a reminder, there is still an accessibility affidavit out that does come by email, and the envelope coming by mail, so you can give it into any polling site or write it to the Board of Elections. Going to the questions right now. Christina Clark said, thank you all. To say, and Laura said, thank you so much, Deborah, appreciate it. Also, we did have someone came in, her name is Miss Lewis. Her information, and she has service openings in Brooklyn, Far Rockaway, Hempstead. Her information is there, so people please share that information, and that will be added to the website at the end of the week. Reminding, there was a question regarding the budget. Let me just get to it. Here it is. Ms. Grice, as you are the chair of the advisory council in Brooklyn, you are most active, most advocating, and I just want to know, I can't say her name because she's asking not to mention it.
Okay.
This is a private section question, saying that, let me rephrase. How can we advocate in another borough that we can never get through on their phones? And I am not talking about politicians. I'm talking about OPWDD. This borough has not got back to me for almost 2 months, and the only place I see that people return calls is Brooklyn, Manhattan, or the Bronx.
Okay, I'm not going to mention your name. You have the right to complain. There's a 1-800 number for OPWDD. You have the right to make a formal complaint. If you have internet, I see you have internet access. I would like you to email make the complaint to in Queens, we can get you the information on the website, 'cause I'm trying to keep this as private as possible. I don't know.
Madam Chair, to make it easy for you, I already forwarded that information to Robin, and
Good.
now she did say thank you, so that's
Right.
the question.
I just want everybody to be aware of this, okay? All right. Yes, it's true that they may not answer us back right away, and I'm going to pluralize it because I don't want to put the spotlight on anybody yet. But first, it's also, there's a two-way stream. Please hear me out. We as parents, when we leave information, please speak much slower and repeat your phone number twice. Because you see, there are times I can understand when someone doesn't get back to you is when, and we have this because we have an answering system too. And and the assistant who was listening cannot catch the phone number and even catch the name. So make sure you've done all that. Your name is mentioned. You have to spell it and then say the phone number. Do it. You can also email OPWDD. You can CC me if you have to. And we will try to forward it to the correct persons. I mean, Miss Robin Mooney has been very helpful to a lot of families who are in similar situations. So please understand that I do understand your frustration, and I'll just do a teeny defense. So I don't want everyone thinking I'm picking on OPWDD. New York City has the largest amount. We practically support the whole state. But we don't have the same staffing ratio as need. So I suggest if you don't hear from them within 3 to 4 weeks, you've done the front door. And if you've done the front door, but they haven't done the interview, within 3 weeks, you contact them by phone or in writing. Very important for you to do that. It is something I've always said to my families. Please do this no matter what. By doing that, you will get the help. I'm not sure how fast, but we'll be able to help you. So I hope I've answered that. Is there any other questions, Chris?
There is another. This one for Angela Blades, which I know she's here. And this one is a person does not want to mention names. She wants to say thank you to Angela Blades for assisting her a few months ago. And this is not just Angela, but this is also from Robin Mooney. She was at our resource fair, and I apologize because somebody doesn't understand the word after 12, sorry. I'm multitasking at the same time, as you see my face here. Saying thank you so much for assisting. Let me finish, Angela, before you answer that question.
Yeah, I was trying to find out the name of the person you said. I didn't catch that in the beginning. I'm
They
sorry.
didn't say it. She doesn't want her name used, but we'll email it to you separately.
Okay.
But
Go ahead, Chris. I'm
we'd
sorry.
like you to hear the thank you, okay?
I know you're crying, but she doesn't want to mention names, but she remembers you, Angela, from the last family support fair. So let's just say it's one of the parents does not actually live in Brooklyn, but lives actually the next borough over. That I can say the borough, which is Queens, but she did get assistance from you and Robin. Because of you has helped her out so much. Now she's actually gotten everything she needed, and she followed every instruction from you, Robin, Debbie, and at the end, if Rochelle was here as well, she would actually Rochelle would start doing the same thing. She has emailed you, Angela, but she knows you've been very busy. But she wanted to say thank you, and she's asking not to use her name because she doesn't want to get attacked by a Queens issue, which Deborah, I think, understands what I'm saying.
Mm,
Okay, well, Christopher, thank you for saying that, and please thank the parent. And I'm glad I was able to help. I mean, that makes me happy that I've done my job. That really makes me happy. So thank you.
And Angela, since we have you here, do you want anything to add in?
Not that I can think of, other than we've sent out the sheets for updating the family support guide to the various agencies. We just need those back as soon as possible so we can get the guide updated in time for the fair. If anybody thinks that they needed to be added and you haven't received the sheet, just email me at angela.blades@opwdd.ny.gov. That information is in the chat also so that we can add you. I think that's basically it. Thank you.
No problem, Angela. And just let everyone know, it is on the chat. As a reminder to everyone, please check your chat all the way up to the beginning. As to remind you that Angela's information and all OPWD information is on our website. As to remind you all, if you want to save the chat, there is when you go to the chat, there is on top, near the top, next to they're saying with everyone or private. And then on the last one will be, it looks like a capital A down arrow. You can just click on that. And if the switch is on, that means it's already going to download. But you can always click download chat. And all of a sudden you'll see on your screen saying download chat, download means going to your folder. That means every person's announcement went into the chat box. So that means everything is there. Now, since there is no other question for you, Ms. Madam Chairperson, does anyone else has any comments, questions for Ms. Greif or anything what we said today at the meeting? Before we end, I just to remind everyone, because there's a lot of things to remind everyone, because Brian, I think Deborah will agree with me as well.
yes, I will, but there is one thing I want to remind everybody. Right now, as I said before, we are gearing up for the RFP process, but also we're also gearing up for the Brooklyn Family Support Fair. And both councils work together as a team. But for the RFP in the future trainings on how we're going to gather information, as well as doing site visit training, will be done after the RFPs are done. We are parent volunteers. We are doing a very important volunteer work, but at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm us. And then one more important thing that I didn't mention. Agencies have what's called consumer satisfaction surveys. If you know that a service is working, fill this out and send it back. You can make a copy and then let us know here at the Advisory Council. Now, the other important thing is that if it's not working, you let us know too. No, that doesn't mean I'm saying, oh my God, I can't be. I've had too many family and parents say to me, oh, we have to get rid of this agency. Yeah, they made a mistake. But I'm not here to take anybody out of the job. My role is to advise my local Brooklyn Development Center that there's some issues and we have to work on it and fix it. We need to see the agency gets the trainings. If after everything's done, it is up to OPWDD, and then we will decide whether the agency keeps their funding or not. But it's a long process. Not a horrible process, but it's an important process. And yes, we will do trainings on how to fill out the consumer satisfaction survey forms, how to make an effective complaint, and it's something else not everyone thinks of, an effective compliment. Yes, I do compliment staff regularly. It is a very hard job working in this field. So I always let them know we appreciate the job they're doing. So I want everyone to know, yes, you'll be aware of when we do the trainings, but OPWDD also does trainings, and things will be placed on video for people to be able to review. So with that, that's my last amount of the work. That's the last thing I have to say. Anybody has no,
And
yes,
everyone that please don't forget to register for the fair. Also,
Right.
as a remind you, also because I'm going to change screens again, don't forget that May 2nd is our next Development Disability Resource Fair, which is at the Washington Ivan branch.
Irving, Washington. Irving, Washington Irving branch. It's named after he's the gentleman who did Rip Van Winkle. So
Either way, just so everyone know, there is no more table space, but you can still come and share your information. We do have an information table. And to remind everyone, everyone's going to ask me, oh, can we register for July? At this time, we're not starting that registration until the month of May because we have 2 months. And we will be making it very clear because we have to make sure we get May 2nd done first. Then I will be sending out agencies for that. I remind you that Resources won, but there are a lot of events will be coming up in July for the AD, but not just celebrating the ADA 35, but just celebrating 10 years celebrating the Disability Pride Month. So there are 2 things coming up on July. It's going to be a special year on this as well. So those are the 2 main events that are coming up. As a lot of things comes up, we're just going to remind everyone, please do your part and we'll do our part. And always please make sure before you all leave, because some people like to run away, please make sure you visit all of the websites. If you have service openings, please do your part of sharing that information out. And make sure you get the information to us or even to the DD Council as well. Does anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns? Because otherwise, I will just say to everyone, on behalf, Ms. Wright?
I do, Chris.
yes, Angela.
Sorry. You said that you wanted the families to send you the surveys if they have any issues. Can they also send them to me so I can follow up also?
I did say that. I said
Oh, I missed that. Sorry, Deborah.
because truthfully, we have to work as a team, Angela, with this. So, but sometimes, Angela, sometimes the families, which I've had sometimes issues emailing certain people in OPWDD. So this is why I'm saying it this way too. If they're having trouble getting or letting you know, and they send it to me, I'm forwarding you the info.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. I just want you to know that they've had, because sometimes, like few of my members, they had Wi-Fi issues. What could I say? Nothing. And I can't, and the reason I don't want to do this too much in person, though I'm not worried about COVID, it makes it easier for a lot of the families who have children. They have to get off to school and they tell me they don't want to be late to the meeting. So I'm doing it this way. But I just want you to know I'm sharing it with you. But I also want them to be aware the agencies must make sure the families fill this out, not because it is important. We need to know if these programs are working, because they're going to look at us, and I said us, if we're not making sure that things are being done right, because our children, the families need intense help and services. So, but you will be definitely shared. That I guarantee. Because if they can't get it to you or share it correctly with you, I'm making sure that it's sent to you correctly. And I will inform you when I see issues too. All right?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And agencies, remember something. This is not because when we ask you to fill the families to fill the surveys out, we want to see which part of your programs are working and which ones are not. Because, sometimes you have to tweak it. If you don't tweak it or fix it, it's like it's like when you don't fix your bicycle correctly, you don't put enough air in the tires correctly, you don't want that problem. We don't want to lose your programs. We want them to stay. And that's why that is an important part. And it is part of your contracts. As also the site visits of the advisory councils with the members of the local Brooklyn Developmental Disabilities Resource, our office, the Brooklyn DDRO. We don't go out and do a site visit unless we're with them. If we have to do it virtually, we will, but if we have to do it in person, we will, but we only go with our OPWDD people who work in our county. But I will tell you that if you do have issues and you don't know how to get it out, contact me and we will privately discuss this and we'll figure the right way to get the help. And agencies, if you have problems, please contact OPWDD. They want to help you. You think they don't, but truthfully, we want these programs to work. So please work with us. If you're having problems, let us know. Thank you. There's no other, anybody else has their hands up because I can't see.
No, we have nothing right now. So it is now 11:45. So we'll give everyone their 15 minutes of breathing.
Yep,
As a reminder,
early. Thank you.
just to remind everyone, please check our calendars. Go visit email if you have some service openings, or visit our website. Again, thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Brooklyn Advisory Council, please enjoy the rest of the month of April, and stay tuned for any updates comes up.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Same to you.